Hello and welcome to the Code Dive channel. Today I'm gonna show how to complete user register form with password validation using Vue.js framework. So we have a Vue.js blank project with two components, user form component and app view component. So first let's check what our task is. Our task is make user form with a password validation. Sounds easy. So we need to add form with two fields, username and the password. We already have it. We have a user form with a wrapper, with a form itself and two inputs. Okay, what we need to do next? We need to make rules for our fields. We need to make sure that username is required, and we need to apply all these rules for the password. So let's check it one by one. First of all, we need to make it at least 6 characters long and the most 20 characters long. We need to be sure that it should not contain spaces. And we need to be sure that at least it contains one number, one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, and one special character. Okay, so, and we need to send API call after all rules checked to API server. API server may return several responses. First of all is server error. Second is 401 or 403. And the last one is success. Depends on the response, we need to show user message. If we have a server error response, we need to show something went wrong, please try again later, or try again. If 401 or 403, we need to return this error. So let's dive into the user form and make this task. First of all, what we can see is there is no reactive for inputs. We need to add the reactive form with two fields. Const form equal reactive username password. We also need to be sure that we import our reactive method. Import reactive from Vue. Okay. Let's edit vModel to our inputs. vModel form username and password. Okay, so we need to do handle for submit. Const on submit. For now it will be not async. So let's add submit method on submit. Okay, we need to apply our required true, where it is, required root for username. And if it's empty, we need to show error message. If form username length equals 0, we need to show message. Okay, let's create a new variable, which will be ref variable. It will be error message, not reactive, but ref. And by default, it's empty. Let's add ref. Okay. If form username is empty, we return the error message, not return, but show, which means username is required. And we need to stop our onSubmit method. So let's check what we will see in the actual browser. We have a username, password, and submit button. If you just click submit, nothing happened because we didn't do one important thing. Because we had submit method, we need to sure that default behavior of the form won't be completed. So we need to prevent it. How to do it? There's two ways to do it. First of all is add event argument on submit callback and make it here prevent default So let's check it. Now we see that the browser is not refreshing, but we don't see the error message. It's because we didn't show it. So let's add after the button div. Let's add it to some class error message. We need to be sure that we show it only when error message exists. If error message. So what we have now? Yeah, username is required. It's our error, and let's make some styles for error. Let's make it red. Perfect. Okay, so let's refresh and continue with the password. But let's change a bit this code. Let's remove this. We don't need this, but we can add here a prefix which submit.prevent, and we will do the same what we had before. So if I refresh the page, click register, I have an error. Okay, so let's split our rules, password rules, by one. Let's create a new variable, const password rules. Password rules. Okay, so it will be just array with the object inside, which each object will have two properties. First is regx, regular expression. Second will be just error message. Or just, let's make it simple, just a message. And let's copy this and put it just for time here. So we will see rules and we can write them in the one page. Okay, so first one, it should be at least 6 characters long. Okay, so it will be any symbol. Length should start from 6, and let's make sure that it will have a start and end. Sorry, end. And if it's failed, we should show this message. So the next row should be most 20 characters long. Okay, so go here and just add 20 here in beside to those brackets. And it will be at most 20 characters long. Cannot contain spaces. Add a new validation room. Regex should be begin end and not a space. Next rules. Let's add for these rules with at least one number, uppercase, lowercase, and special character. It should be the easiest one. Let's start with the number. Regex should contain at least one number. Message must contain at least one number. New rule, uppercase letter. Regex must contain any uppercase letter in the password. Message must contain at least one uppercase letter. Lowercase regex az message must contain at least one lowercase letter. And finally, its special character. So with special character, we will do a tricky one. We will add a rule that will means that we expect from the string will be anything beside a z in lowercase, a z in uppercase, and any number. So it means that text that will have only string like letters, uppercase, lowercase, and numbers, this rule will fail. At least as soon we add some special character like this or anything what is not in this range, it will succeed. Okay, let's add a message. Add one special character. Okay. So we added the rules. Let's apply them to the password. How to do that? So first of all, let's discuss it. We need to check all these rules for our password string. And if one of them fail, we need to show a message. We don't need to show all messages. We just need to show the first failed message. That means that we can do this one. We just go to this onSubmit method and do find the rule that is not matched. So invalid const invalid rule equals password rules find rule regex test form password, and it should fail. Okay, if invalid rule message exists, that means that we fail our password and we need to show error message and stop doing this function. So error message value equals invalid rule dot message, and we need to stop it. So let's check how it works. Username test check must be at least 6 characters long. Good. Let's type something with 6 characters. Just anything without numbers. Register must be at most 20 characters long. Okay, we have something wrong here. Must be at most 20 characters long. So that means that we're doing something wrong. Let's check our code. So we have must be at most 20 characters long. Between 620. It should be correct. I see. We have a next rule that means that should not contain any spaces, and it's wrong. We have a message here that means that it should contain at most 20 characters long. Let's change the message. Here should not contain spaces. Let's check it. Test QWERTY cannot contain spaces, and definitely we are doing something wrong here. What we did wrong is that we didn't specify how many characters we want here, because if you type just s, it will succeed, but as soon you will add another character as s, it will fail because it expects it will be only one character. So let's make it unlimited. Plus, let's check the code, test, register, nice. Must contain at least one number. Register must contain at least one uppercase. Let's add uppercase. And must contain at least one special character. I assume that this form is ready to be sent, but we didn't clear our error message. So each time we click a register, we will clear our error message. Error message value dot empty. Okay, test. Let's start with the uppercases. At least one number. Okay. At least one lowercase. Okay. Any special? Nice. And let's check how it works with a long string. Okay, this rule is not applying for some reason, and it's because we need to set its start and end. Test. Let's add 20 strings, 20 length string without the password. Let's check the, okay, this rule is working. Let's check the space rule. Space rule is also working. So we are fine. We need to do submit action and send our request to the API. So what we're gonna do next? First of all, we have a API server that up with Laravel, and it has one method. It has a one method login. So let's add the fetch request to this API. Const response equal. Let's make our onSubmit async. So we won't use then and catch method. We will do await fetch our API host that's located on our local host machine with 8000 port. It should be just login with body, username, and password. Password. So let's also send some headers to it. It should be just send default headers. It's content type application JSON. That means that we expect that server will return us JSON. Oh, I'm sorry. That means that we will send a JSON to the server and accept, which means the server will return the JSON to us. So let's stop on it and check what we have in the response here. Let's make it test, some valid password, and inspect. Failed to execute fetch with get head method cannot have body. Yes, because we are sending right now get request. We need to change method to post. So now body should be available. Let's check how it works right now. Test some valid password. Okay, so it returns us server error. It means that server makes something unexpected and it goes to the error. We need to show the error message, in this case, to our user. Let's make it. Let's check. First of all, we need to check if response is not okay. We need to define the status code and return the message. If response status equal 500, we will show error message. Let's copy it from the task. Something went wrong, please try again. And let's add new rules. If 401 or 403 includes our status code, we will show different error message. Let's take it from the task description. Oh, okay. In our task, it says that it can return only 500, 401, or 403 error status. So we won't handle any other. So let's check here. If error message exists, that means that we need to stop. And if it's not exist, if it's undefined or empty, let's add that length equals not equal 0. It means it means it's failed and we need to stop. Otherwise, it's success. We will return here later and add some success action. So let's check our code. Test. Uppercase. Something went wrong. Please try again later. Let's try what we will see if we handle 401 error or 403. Our server will return 401 or 403 if you type username unknown. Correct. And it should return nothing if we type username code dive. Correct. So what we have to do now, we need to add success action. If we take a look in AppView file, we see that AppView expecting this event from user form. So let's create a emit for user form. Emit, we'll define emits, and the name of event it should be create successful. Create successful. Right. And just trigger this event, and this should be it. Let's try again. Code dive password, any password that is valid. Register, user was successfully created. Fine, we finished our task. But there is one advanced technique that we can do here. Let's make it that we will see all password rules dynamically. So if it's failed, it will be red. If it's success, it will be green. So let's do it in this way. We have a password rules. Let's remove it. We have a password rule set. We need to create another array which will dynamically change if password change and if password match or not match this rule. So let's create const dynamic rules. It will be computed variable. It means that if any ref variable changed inside these brackets, the computed method will recalculate this variable. So let's make it return. It should also return array. Sorry, it will return array based on the password rules array. And we will return first of all message, rule message, and second is match or not match. Just rule regx test rule, sorry, not rule message, but form password. So our dynamic rules is ready. Let's just debug it, put it here, and we should see the JSON of it. Okay, all rules should match false. Let's change the password. As soon as we change the password, we see that cannot contain spaces, change it to true. Let's add more characters, and you see as soon as we add in all our required characters, all rules started to change. So let's remove it and make some and add these rules under our password field. So that's a div. Inside this div, we will add also divs that we will loop in v4 our variable, how it called dynamic rows. So row in dynamic rows. Let's just copy. Oh, I see I make a typo. Dynamic rows. Let's copy it. Let's sure that we add a key attribute row. And let's make key as a message. And just show row message. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it looks good, but we need to add the color, green or red. Let's add the class attribute. Sorry, that's it. After a key. Sorry, class equals error. Let's change a different code style. If it's row match, we will return success. If it's not match, we will return error. And we already have an error class, which means the text will be red. If we refresh our code, we will see all in red. So let's add a new class, success. And the color in success should be green. So let's check how it works. Username test. And we will type slowly a password and see how it will change dynamically. We have seen that as soon we type a lowercase q, it applied to the 2 rows. Let's add the 6 characters. And also it's applied to the 20 row. Let's add the uppercase. Let's add a number and special character. And let's add a space between 2 characters. We will see that this row becomes invalid. And just type as many strings as we reach the 20 limit. And we see that rows also failed. So this is it. This is our task. We complete our task. We add the validation for username, for password. We handle all possible API responses. And that's it. Thank you for watching it. Subscribe and dive into code together. Bye.